I'm going to show you how to write the perfect resume as a senior professional looking for a job that pays 6 figures or even multiple 6 figures. We're going to walk through what the hiring manager is looking for in senior professionals, where to find the right keywords for a senior professional's resume, and I'll show you a 10 out of 10 resume I created for a senior professional. Let's do this. By the way, if you'd like to enter to win a free resume review from me, stick around to the end of the video and I'll explain how to enter to do that. So there are 4 things a hiring panel is typically looking for when they're interviewing for a senior professional. Those things are strategic planning, big picture thinking. Obviously, you need to know where the ship is going so you can help to steer it. We're also going to need to know that you have experience leading leaders, not just leading people, but leading those who lead others. We want to know a deep industry expertise is available to you. We need to show years experience working in meaningful settings in this industry, in this type of environment. And finally, they're going to need to see results, and lots of them, because you only get paid the big bucks if you can really make things happen for them, and they're only going to trust you to do that if you can show on your resume you've been doing that before. So results, results, results. So as we go on to build our resume, we want to make sure we're touching on all of these skills in our branding, which I'll show you how to do in a moment. And most importantly, we want to make sure those are coming across in all of our bullet points, which we will also walk through how to do. But before we get into that, let me explain how to find the keywords you'll need to get past the ATS scanners and get into the hands of an actual hiring manager. Now, if you're not familiar, an ATS scanner or applicant tracking system is just a software that companies use to manage all the applications coming in for jobs that they post online. Now, one of the things an ATS does is it filters through all the applicants to let people know, the hiring manager specifically know, who is the most qualified among the candidates applying. So if we're applying to jobs that we are a good fit for, the ATS scanner is our friend. It's here to help. All we have to do is make sure that we are naturally using the keywords that it's looking for in our resume. So here's how to do that. Now, the first place we're going to go to find those keywords is, of course, the job description for the job we're applying to. Now, as you can see here, the employer is very direct about what the responsibilities and qualifications required for the role are, so we're just going to carefully analyze this, and we're going to take a moment to highlight any skills they mention that are either tasks that we'll be doing on the job, industry terminology, equipment or software we might be using, and any professional traits they mention as well. So that's going to give us something that looks like this. As you can see, a lot of this document is highlighted. That just means they wrote the job description thoroughly, but this is what it should look like once we've highlighted the keywords that are coming up in the job posting. By the way, if you don't want to do this manually and you'd rather automate the process of pulling out the keywords, you can use this prompt here with ChatGPT to help you pull out the keywords from the job description. Now, I personally recommend that we do both, because getting a close and detailed understanding of what they wrote in the job description is really going to help us to position ourselves better for the role and prepare ourselves for an eventual interview. But ChatGPT, or whatever AI tool you like to use, might catch some stuff that we didn't. So it's good to do both. And of course, if you want access to all of my best ChatGPT prompts, you can get them here in my ChatGPT resume ebook, which I've linked down below in the description. Or if you want to get the ChatGPT book along with all my best resume templates, sample resumes, cover letter templates, and sample pre-written cover letters, you can get all of that stuff in my mega resume and cover letter bundle, which I've also linked down below in the description. Now that we've got our list of keywords, let me walk you through a perfect resume I wrote for a senior professional so you can see exactly how it all comes together. Okay, so this is the senior professional resume that I've been dying to walk you through. Let me explain everything. Obviously, we have just a 1-page resume here for sample purposes. I would expect at a senior professional level, we are taking up 2 pages. But just wanted to show you what this would look like on a single page. Typically, on a 2-pager, we're going to have way more than 2 jobs, and each of the jobs will probably have more than 3 bullet points. But I condensed it all for ease. So let's zoom in a little bit here. First, you'll see up at the top, we have, if we have any advanced credentials, MBA, Master of Science, or anything like that, a project management, PMP, anything else we want to brag about, put that in the name. That immediately elevates us. Next, we want to describe ourselves with some nice professional branding like you'll see here. I like to use at the very beginning something to showcase kind of like the industry and the level we're at. So IT executive, marketing director, something to that effect. And then obviously we're starting to lean into the strategy and people leadership and industry expertise here right away. Another great thing that we advocate for, that we include, is any change or innovation. These are also things that leaders are often looked for to implement. So innovation champion, another great title, as you can see here. But most importantly, they already know what we do and they're excited right away to read more. Then a professional summary, very useful. We want to share our year's experience, make sure we're using terms like leader to refer to ourselves. If you have more than 20 years experience, just call it 20 plus so we don't run into any ageism issues. And then throughout the rest of the professional summary, what are the environments we've worked in, what are some of our values, and what are some of our top skills that we bring to the table. Areas of expertise, this is where we're going to pump in all those keywords we found. And of course we can sprinkle them into the professional summary. We're going to want to talk about them in the bullet points as well. But this is like kind of our dumping ground for any of those skills they mentioned that we have. And of course prioritizing the hard skills, industry terminology, equipment and software above things like professional traits, hardworking, etc. Career highlights. This is a very advanced resume writing technique, but if you can pull it off, fantastic. We want to pick 3, 4, maybe at the max 5 of our best accomplishments or 5 sort of our best talking points. And as you can see here, we have some specific strategy and organizational change level accomplishments here. We have sort of a totality of our experience. That's another great thing to put in a career highlights. How long have I been doing this on a high level? And then sort of another grand total here. We've launched 20 product lines. So what are your best accomplishments or talking points related to those keywords that we pulled up when we were looking at the job description that we can brag about in a career highlights section? Then you'll notice in the professional experience section, we mention for each job an overview. And some of these overviews can be 1 line, 2 lines, up to maximum 3 lines of content. But we want to share a bit about the organization and our role, maybe our portfolio, so that they have big picture context for the role. And then we can use the bullet points to showcase very specific accomplishments. A common mistake I see in resumes is people jumping into accomplishments in the bullet points without setting the tone. They need to know the context and the situation you were in when you accomplished all these things before they can appreciate the accomplishments. So you'll notice another thing I did here, which I recommend for resumes at all levels, but especially senior professionals. We've started to name our bullet points in bold at the beginning. And that is going to draw their attention again to the skills we have. And if they've seen skills in your areas of expertise section or skills they're interested in seeing when they've scanned the bullet points, they'll zero in on what matters most to them because we have these nice highlights, or these nice titles, I should say. You'll see we have lots of numbers. Again, we're focusing on strategy, big picture thinking, people leadership, whether that's cross-functional leadership, multi-tiered leadership, which is a great word for a senior professional resume, is in managing people who are managing other people. Talked about that earlier. And of course, results. For your most recent job, if it's close to what you want to do, I would rather see 7 to 10 bullet points. You could even take up the entire first page if you've been there for a long time and you've got a lot of good stuff you've done. Now, overall, we still want to keep our resume to probably 2 pages at the maximum, unless you are like a professor or something and you have a list of publications that you need to include. But as I said, definitely 2 pages would be good. I wouldn't want to see one this short. This is just for demonstration purposes. Obviously, education, and then if you're a technical person, technical proficiencies is great as well. Other sections you can absolutely add if you have any certifications, awards, additional training, languages if you speak a few languages, that's great. That is all the things you can put in your senior professional resume. if you ever want me to take a look at your resume, I do offer resume review services on my website, and I've linked to my website down below. But this is the walkthrough. This is your kind of gold standard, and it's not that hard to do if you've been working hard throughout your career and you are in a position for a senior professional role. Your resume will look as good as this, I believe. Now, as promised, for a chance to win a free resume review from me, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with the word resume in it somewhere. Now, if you want even more help with your specific resume, check out my free resume writing course right here on YouTube. I'll see you over there.